Hypothetical Analysis. Donald Trump as an active measures asset in Putin's strategy to destabilize democracy. By Hayes Fierro, editor, Information Warfare magazine. Whether wittingly or not, Donald Trump has acted and continues to act in ways that align with the hallmarks of an active measures asset, advancing key elements of Russia's strategy to destabilize Western democracies. His rhetoric, policies, and actions have systematically undermined democratic institutions, exacerbated societal divisions, and weakened global alliances, outcomes that align remarkably well with Vladimir Putin's geopolitical objectives. This essay explores the speculative narrative that Trump's trajectory as a public figure and politician fits into Russia's active measures playbook. Leveraging historical insights into Trump's personal and financial connections, as well as Russian intelligence operations, we examine how his actions align with Moscow's long-term strategy to erode Western democracy. Active measures, a legacy of subversion. Active measures is a term used to describe the Soviet Union's toolkit for undermining adversaries through disinformation, propaganda, and manipulation. These strategies included cultivating assets, witting or unwitting, within target nations to serve as amplifiers of their agenda. Historical examples include Soviet efforts to infiltrate peace movements in the West during the Cold War, financial and ideological support for divisive political figures and extremist groups in Europe. Vladimir Putin, a former KGB officer, modernized these tactics for the 21st century, harnessing social media and advanced propaganda techniques. The U.S. intelligence community has documented extensive Russian interference in democratic processes, including the 2016, 2020, 2024 presidential elections, Donald Trump's early links to Russia, Trump's 1987 Moscow visit. In 1987, Donald Trump visited Moscow at the invitation of the Soviet government, ostensibly to explore real estate opportunities. During this trip, Trump was hosted by Intourist, an organization frequently used by the KGB to assess and monitor foreign visitors. Shortly after returning, Trump began expressing political views that aligned with Soviet interests, such as criticizing NATO, a strategic priority for Moscow. This raised speculation about whether he was being cultivated as an asset. Financial leverage. By the 1990s, Trump's business empire faced severe financial difficulties, prompting him to seek foreign investments. Russian financiers, often linked to oligarchs with ties to the Kremlin, began to emerge as key players in Trump's business ventures. Deutsche Bank, notorious for laundering Russian money, became one of his primary financiers. Such financial entanglements could provide leverage for Russian interests. Cultural influence operations. Trump's fascination with wealth and power, coupled with financial vulnerability, made him an ideal target for Russian flattery and manipulation. Events like hosting the Miss Universe pageant in Moscow in 2013 further entrenched his connections to influential Russian figures. Trump's presidency, a case study in destabilization. 1. Undermining democratic institutions. A core objective of Russian active measures is to erode trust in democratic institutions. Trump's presidency mirrored this objective through attacks on the media, branding it as fake news, undermining the judiciary with frequent disparagement of judges and legal rulings, subverting electoral integrity, culminating in the January 6th Capitol insurrection. 2. Amplifying division. Russian disinformation campaigns thrive on stoking societal divisions. Trump's polarizing rhetoric on race, immigration, and political opponents often mirrored narratives amplified by Russian troll farms. The Mueller report highlighted how Russian operatives used social media to bolster Trump's 2016 campaign while sowing discord among Americans. 3. Weakening alliances. Trump's antagonistic approach to NATO and the European Union directly advanced Putin's long-standing goal of fragmenting Western unity. By threatening to withdraw from NATO and disparaging allied nations, Trump undermined trust among U.S. allies. 4. Deference to Russia. Trump consistently displayed unusual deference toward Russia, including refusing to condemn Russian interference in U.S. elections despite clear evidence, praising Vladimir Putin as a strong leader, advocating for policies favorable to Russia, such as weakening sanctions imposed after the annexation of Crimea. Putin's long game, destabilizing the West, exploitation of populism. Putin has strategically exploited populist movements to weaken democracies. Trump's America First agenda, with its nationalist and isolationist tone, dovetailed with this strategy, reducing U.S. engagement in global democratic initiatives. Chaos as a strategy. Chaos is a cornerstone of Russia's active measures. By amplifying partisan divisions, Trump contributed to a climate of instability, which diminishes the U.S.'s ability to project power and influence abroad, giving adversaries like Russia greater freedom to operate. Undermining U.S. leadership. Trump's erratic policies eroded U.S. leadership on the global stage, creating vacuums that Russia filled in regions like Syria and Eastern Europe. Counterarguments and plausible deniability. While the hypothesis is compelling, it is not without its challenges. Lack of direct evidence. Despite extensive investigations, no conclusive proof has emerged that Trump knowingly acted as a Russian agent. Trump's ego and impulsiveness. His behavior could be attributed to personal ambition rather than alignment with Russian strategies. Mutual exploitation. Russia might have exploited Trump's actions opportunistically without direct coordination, a common tactic in active measures. Conclusion. The speculative narrative of Donald Trump as an active measures asset aligns with historical patterns of Russian influence campaigns. His rise to power, rhetoric, and policies align closely with objectives outlined in Putin's strategy to destabilize Western democracies. While definitive evidence of deliberate coordination remains elusive, Trump's actions have undeniably advanced Russian geopolitical goals. This narrative underscores the vulnerabilities of democratic institutions to covert influence, emphasizing the need for vigilance in preserving the integrity of democratic systems. As editor of Information Warfare magazine, I leave you with a critical question. Was Trump a mere opportunistic player in a broader geopolitical game, or a key figure in one of the most audacious active measures campaigns in modern history? The answer may hold the key to understanding how fragile democracy can be in the face of strategic manipulation. Stay informed. Thank you.